For today and tomorrow, these 2 sessions of teaching on Mahamudra is conducted as respond to the request by the Kaju Samye Ling and its branch centers, members who came here, headed by Venerable Lama Yeshe. So at their request, I am teaching Mahamudra today and tomorrow, and also giving time for individuals to ask a question. Of course, Mahamudra is an enormous subject. There is nothing that Mahamudra will not cover. If there is anything that Mahamudra doesn't cover, then Mahamudra is not Mahamudra. In order to give a thorough teaching on Mahamudra, you have to talk about everything. So today is just today. Okay? And it is not all the time, therefore it cannot be everything. Now, the basic definition of Mahamudra, many of you might know, some of you might not know. So it is a Sanskrit terminology. Mahamudra is not English. Mahamudra is not Tibetan. Mahamudra is Sanskrit. Mahamudra. So it means great gesture or great seal or great symbol. Now, what it implies is that everything from heaven to hell, from you to everyone, from here to infinite, everything have primordial ultimate essence, which is totally complete in each one of us and each one of everything. Therefore, everyone is sacred and everything is sacred. Sacred by definition, there is inherent, primordial, limitless essence of limitless potential in everything. Now, by knowing that, then we can say base or the ground Mahamudra is understood superficially. Superficial, I say, because there isn't much difference between when we know it and when we don't know it, except when we know, then we are not ignorant about ourselves and we are not ignorant about everything else. When we don't know, then we are ignorant about ourselves and we are ignorant about everything else. But beside that, we will have the same problems, we will have the same happiness, we will have the same sadness, we will have everything same. It doesn't change anything right away. Gradually, of course, but right away we are the same good old me. Yes. But the difference between knowing the ground Mahamudra and not knowing ground Mahamudra is this. When you know your primordial essence have no limitation, and it is perfect and more than perfect. Then all the problems and shortcomings that you have become a secondary thing, not the first, the most important, the most serious thing. Okay? So, when I was a teenager, little bit late end of my teenage, there was a comic book. And that comic book involved two characters, asterisks and obliques. You know? The obliques have tremendous strength because when he was a baby, fell into the cauldron of magic potion. When everybody get their share of magic drink, he will never get one, not even a drop, because he fell into it when he was a baby. So he have inherent strength. So the difference between knowing the ground Mahamudra and not knowing the ground Mahamudra is you fell into the cauldron or not. You know, cauldron means big container, big pot. So you fell into the pot of magic potion when you were a baby or not. That much difference. Other than that, it will be the same thing. So you will have limitless strength to face anything, and by good or bad that happen to you, which is quite often in day-to-day life, will not make you overly proud or over depressed when bad things happen. Person who have Mahamudra, ground Mahamudra understanding, I don't think will have nervous breakdown, unless it is a physical disease. If it is a disease, yes, then it could happen. Other than that, it will not happen. In my mind, nervous breakdown is not a disease. Maybe I'm wrong because I never had one. Okay? If I had one, then it is permanent, so I don't notice. Yeah. Yeah. So some of you might not know this story because it's coming from France.
这个故事是从这个法国的故事来的。
So anyway, the ground Mahamudra, once you understood, then you know the absolute liberation, such as Buddhahood, is in you all the time. It is not anywhere. If you are born in heaven as a God, it is in you. If you are born in hell, still it's in you. If you are born as a dog, still it's in you. Right now, you are born as a human being, it's in you. You will never be without it. There's no way to lose it. There's no way to damage it. There's no way to contaminate it. But you might not know you have it. And by knowing the ground Mahamudra, then you know you have limitless potential. You know primordial wisdom as your essence. And I can prove this to you. How? I prove this to you in a most basic, pragmatic, worldly manifestation that you all have right now, including me. Our appetite for greed have no limitation. So we have limitless greed. Yes? Today, I think I will be happy if I have 2 or 3 times of what I have. And when I achieve that, I guarantee you, I will find I don't have enough and I need 3 or 4 times of what I have that time to be content. Once I have that, in no time, I will be missing 1 or 2 pieces that I have to find. So, with this kind of process, if I am lucky and become the most powerful, most fortunate person on earth, I definitely will look for somewhere else and try to be the greatest and most fortunate person in the entire solar system. If that happens, then I want the same for the entire galaxy. If that is achieved, then I will go on. Actually, by the time I become the master of one galaxy, actually I will be afraid of all the other galaxies. Yes, yes. That's a guarantee. So that is my proof that our potential have no limitation. Okay? So that is the negative side of it. The positive side of it is, that means until we become limitless, we are not satisfied. So, by following our greed, limitless greed, we will not become limitless. We will become more and more limited. I don't worry about other solar system. I don't worry about other galaxies. I even don't worry about my neighbors. But if we have equal achievement of our greed to our neighbor, then I will be worried about my neighbor. That is for sure. So this way, we cannot achieve limitless freedom through greed. We cannot achieve limitless freedom through limited means. So we will achieve limitless freedom by attaining realization of the limitless potential, which is non-dualistic, which is beyond, reaching beyond and above good and bad, reaching beyond all aspects of dualism. And we have to start here by overcoming our negative aspect of limitless manifestation, by developing limitless aspect of our positive manifestation. So let our limitless greed be our limitless compassion. Limitless the same, but greed we have, compassion we don't have. Our compassion is limited. Our compassion is to those who are nice to us. Okay. Now about the compassion, that is one example. Of course, it is not only the compassion. Compassion, devotion, etc., etc. There's so many things. But example with compassion, Mahamudra, understanding, the ground Mahamudra, understanding, then through this, the compassion manifests quite naturally. And this is written very clearly by a third Javakarmapa in his Mahamudra prayer. He says, nature and the potential of all sentient being is Buddha. Because of their ignorance of not knowing it, they are suffering in the samsara. Therefore, your understanding of who they are and what they are going through and unnecessariness of what they are going through and the greatness of their potential, then you sincerely, what you feel sincerely for them is what we call compassion. When you are praying with compassion to sentient beings, or when you are giving something to sentient beings out of compassion, then it is multiple things. One way you are giving, but another way you are offering. You offer an apple to a beggar is at the same time you are offering an apple to a Buddha. Because that beggar's essence is Buddha. He might not know, or maybe she's pretending not knowing. I wouldn't know. But for me, that person doesn't look like a Buddha. That person doesn't even have enough to eat. So I give my extra fresh apple. So this way, Mahamudra definition of compassion is not this dualistic superiority of yourself and inferiority of others. You, the good guy, try to help out the poor, the ignorant, unfortunate one. It doesn't just stay in that category. That category as well as the other category. So it is healthier. With Mahamudra understanding, more compassionate and more generous and more kind you are, more humble, more sincere, more mature you become. Instead of more proud and more, never mind. You become, okay? Now, the same thing about another very important thing, that is devotion. Compassion is one side, and devotion is another side. But two sides of the same thing.